Hello everyone, once again. Welcome to our live
Hello.
session on POSH Beyond Compliance on behalf of Greenbridge Consulting. I'm so glad to have you all here today to be a part of this very important subject. Well, for those who might not know, let me tell you that POSH is a compliance which stands for Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace. It's all about ensuring that every workplace is safe, respectful, and harassment-free. Today, we are going to discuss how this compliance goes beyond just ticking boxes. It's about creating a workplace where everyone understands that respect and safety are absolutely non-negotiable. Stay tuned, audience, because at the end of the session, we will also have a quick Q&A session and we will announce winners as well. Well, I have so many questions related to this particular topic. So why not invite a true expert in POSH and workplace safety? Let's welcome Anjali Suneja, co-founder of Hivesure Infosolutions and a certified POSH trainer. As a passionate certified POSH trainer, Anjali conducts enlightening awareness sessions for organizations and institutes. She also serves as an external IC member for several organizations. Also, Anjali has recently been selected as one of the 8 inspirational women of Rajasthan for her impactful efforts in raising this particular awareness. Hats off to you, Anjali. And we are
Thank you so much.
honored
Thanks,
to have you
Akriti.
here today.
Thank you so much, dear.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited to interact and to share the knowledge. And definitely, it's going to be on another platform where I'll get the opportunity to make people aware about it, which I personally feel nowadays it should start from the root level itself, from the schools, higher education institute. But yes, I feel really, fortunate when I get to interact with the corporate people and people those who are already at the workplaces and they are still unaware or the organizations are not taking initiative. And if I get an opportunity to interact with them, I
Yeah.
really feel it brings a sense of satisfaction that yes, I have contributed my part.
Definitely, you are making a difference in making workplaces a
Thank you
better
so
place. Okay, so I think let's dive in and begin our discussion. Yeah.
much. Sure,
So,
please.
yeah, so my first question to you is that POSH Act is often viewed as focusing just on women, right? So I would like to ask you if
Yes.
that's true, or does it protect all employees regardless of gender? Would you like to clarify this misconception today?
Yeah, sure. So, Akriti, I would say undoubtedly POSH Act is biased, and the debates are still going on
Hmm.
because it does provide safeguard to only women. Male cannot file complaint, even the transgender also. And whatever rights are there, this is actually very much specific to female employees only, not to the male. So whenever I, go for the consultation on POSH, I get to know how can we cover our male employees or our transgender, and how we can, broaden the coverage of the act. So the best part of POSH Act is it does not restrict any organization to have a gender neutral policy. Any organization can have a gender neutral policy. And that is policy, they can cover male, they can cover gender, transgender also, LGBT.
Hmm.
So every community can be covered in this. So that is the best part. Second thing, when we say it is a biased one, there is a principle of natural justice that we have to follow whenever we go for any internal inquiry process in the POSH. So that says we cannot go any ex parte decision. That means hearing only one party, the IC cannot pass on any decision. So that gives a fair opportunity for the another party to be well heard
Hmm.
and to be satisfied on their part. They have all the rights. Let's say, although the POSH Act says the complainant would be only women, but as I said, if we have a gender neutral policy, complainant can be anyone from male or a transgender also. So in that case, what the major difference comes is IC of any organization is, they are assumed or they are provided with the power of a civil court. That means they can call this for the summon, they can call to the complainant, to the respondent, they can call to the witnesses, they can ask for any evidence, document, and then they can give their recommendation. So this is the power with the IC. But when we have a gender neutral policy in the organization, let's say a complaint can definitely go to IC, but in that case, the power of IC would be changed.
Okay. Okay.
So IC would either can recommend that the punishment can go as per the code of conduct of the organization. And suppose if you do not want to make a gender neutral policy also, but still you want to give a broader coverage, in that case, you can mention just one liner saying if a complaint from male or any other gender has to be, taken ahead, they can approach to the HR, they can approach to their ethical committee. Most of the organizations having their grievance redressal committee. So that would give them a surety, although the POSH Act looks biased, but still our organization has put the effort to provide us the justified, coverage in the sexual harassment, because it is not the case that male do not get harassed at workplace. It does happen. There have been these cases. So definitely, although I would say the act itself is in the plantation phase or it is not fully, developed, there are a lot of areas of amendments. Bills are there where we have proposed the changes. So it's still in the plantation phase, and we are hopeful that they would come where, irrespective of gender, all of our employees would be covered.
Yeah. So I believe it is the responsibility of the organization to run this particular, compliance in a gender neutral manner, right?
Yes, yes,
Great.
definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And this brings me to my next question. We all know that the landscape of work is evolving, right? This is the digital era where many companies have started operating with remote or hybrid work models. How do you
Yes.
adapt POSH trainings and policies to ensure that they are equally effective in the virtual environment as well?
Okay. So when we talk about virtual environment, Akriti, I have seen some researches where it has been shown that after COVID, approximately 20 to 27% of cases of sexual harassment have been raised. I mean, that is a raise in the cases after COVID when we have adopted the work from home environment.
Okay.
So what we first have to understand what is the reason behind why these cases are raising. So with the studies, we got to know we have lack of etiquettes of online working. We do not know what we should wear, how our gesture should be, what should be our setup. Recently, I had a discussion. I'm a part of an IC for an organization, and we handled a case there where the case was a person, I mean, he was a manager. Whenever he used to call the team for the meeting, the female employee used to get feel awkward. So they launched a company. And when we investigated, we got to know that person had a poster on his back with a, there was a nude figure on that. So that was something which we feel that what setup you are into, that equally matters. And what kind of content you are sharing. And now when we talk about digital era, there is no time limits. Even we get calls, chats, emails at late night, and our managers, our management expect us to answer because they are giving us a benefit of working from home. So this is something where we have to set a boundary, and it should be a commitment that should come from the leadership end. Because anything that comes from the top to bottom, it becomes more impactful, more powerful, and a priority of the organization. So in that case, leadership has to take the ownership of it. They should let their team know that these are the working hours. This would be the, the way you would, the setup in which you sit and work. It should be, kind of, it should not be discomforting for anyone else. You are coordinating, and and these should be the channels of communication. Let's say even we have to discuss something, we can go with a Skype or something on the professional chat rather going with the WhatsApp. So all this should be taken care on the higher level side. And when we talk about educating in this era, it is very, very crucial. So now companies have to change the mode of their trainings. Let's say, for the online, I mean, online or onboarding when we are doing virtual orientation, we are doing. So we should have include POSH into that. And I personally feel POSH should always be taken care at the orientation level itself. The education should start from the very first day rather when we feel okay fine at the time when we have to file the annual report, we will conduct the session, we have to go for quarterly or yearly sessions we have to conduct. So that should not be the mindset. They should start from the very first day itself. It should be included as a part of their orientation. And when we talk about their internal portals, intranet, the bulletins they share, emails they share, everywhere they should keep sharing some case studies, the recent updates which we are getting from the about the act, and definitely I would say regular communication channels should be there. It should not happen. Somebody is working from home. They have no idea if they are uncomforting with, I mean, if there is something which is uncomforting for them, to whom they should reach out. So information about the IC, right person to approach, right channel to approach. So although the team is, we have a diverse workforce, they are sitting virtually, but they should feel like a team. They should be so well educated that to whom we should approach first. So I think the regular check-ins can also be there where HRs or the IC members can check in with the team. They can check on their mental health, any concern if they are having. It should be the initiative of HR, I can say. And then definitely whatever working we have should be time bound, which can definitely, control a lot of issues, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the set of etiquettes of working in the digital
Yes.
world, it's very much important. And of course, regular communication and the reinforcement of that particular information is pretty much
Yes.
important.
And one more thing which I would like to add, which we most of the time we feel, we do deliver the training, but we do not get concerned about the mapping the effectiveness of that
Hmm.
training.
Hmm.
So evaluation is something we should not miss out, and refresher session should always be there. In fact, we can always have online modules for the people. So there can be some quiz, can be some role plays, can be some case studies which they go through. Something it does happen. See, I have some doubt. I'm feeling uncomfortable, but I'm not sure whether it is sexual harassment or not. So in that case, whatever material you have put online would help the other person to understand
Yes.
to whether it is sexual harassment and to whom they should approach.
Yes, as they say that the effectiveness of learning is basically judged first through learning and then through the behavior as well, and the final impact that
Yes.
it is creating to the organization. Very well said, Anjali. So I think let's quickly move to the next question. Like we have
Sure.
a long list of questions, but I'm sure we'll have to plan some part two for that. But let's see how much we can cover today. So
Sure.
my question is, many companies treat POSH as just a compliance checkbox. Is something that they just have to do. That's why they are doing it. That's an unfortunate reality. From your experience, how do you shift this particular mindset so that companies start becoming actually sensitive towards the subject?
Yes. So, Akriti, you're absolutely right. So still, there are big brands, even those they are coming and they are accepting calls just because they have a pressure to tick box the compliance, the checkbox they have for compliance, they have to tick it off. So here when we go for that consultation to that client, when I talk to my client, I first try to understand what sort of culture they have. And we always say POSH is not just a compliance, it's not merely a compliance, but it is a foundation, a fundamental, area which they should have to build the organization's culture. And when we talk about culture, With the POSH, people get confident. They feel they are respected. They are safe. They feel a sense of, inclusivity is there. If in case there is something, they have a support system within the organization. They need not to move directly to the outside channels. So when we talk to clients, undoubtedly we make them understand what is the objective behind these trainings. But apart from that, we also tell them what is not the objective of training. That is to create a fun, fearful environment for the employees, because they have a, they always come up with a doubt. What if people are educated on POSH? Tomorrow they might not feel comfortable with each other in talking with each other. Nowadays, we have a healthy culture. People compliment each other. They accept and they are happily working. But there is a very thin, a very blurred line you have to respect. You have to understand the boundary you should not cross, I would say. So here comes that we make them understand if their employees are educated, they would be more responsible. They would get the idea what their responsibility. Right, I would say it's a definitely it's there in the picture, but what is their responsibilities primarily? Then what is the right channel to approach if they have any complaints? So rather they jump onto the social media, they take help from the court or to the police, they first come to their internal committee. So that would help to save the reputation of the organization. If we talk on the legalities and the reputation damage, the financial penalties a organization may have in case of non-compliance, that can definitely be saved. But reputation is something which we cannot, nothing can, bring it back for the organization. You must have seen LinkedIn. We get a lot of complaints there. People, why do it comes on the social media? Because people do not have that confidence on their internal redressal mechanism, so that they feel if it is shared outside, we'll get more suggestion and our case will become more powerful. We'll get the support from external system. Absolutely. So the same feeling we have to develop through our internal system, that yes, you are heard, you are valued, you have internal support available, and what are the consequences of it, of not being into this compliance. So I personally feel it should moreover be, to change the mindset, we have to work in a direction where we make the organization understand about their value, the brand they want to present themselves in the market, rather we talk about the compliance.
Definitely. Totally agree. Yeah. So which brings me to my very last question. Is there a key message or piece of advice that you would like to share as a trainer regarding the effectiveness of POSH policy, especially in today's working environment?
Yes. So, I mean, if I haven't misunderstood, your question is, as a trainer, what advice I want to give, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, Akriti, if I have any employer in the audience, I would, suggest them that definitely have a policy and educate your people. Do not have that fear of educating and bringing the awareness, because nowadays we have that many channels to keep ourselves updated and informed. Even if you are not doing internally, we will seek the help from the outer world. So first thing, internal education system is very, very important. Always before we think about redressal mechanism, think about the preventive steps we can take. Have policy, have IC in place, think about the culture. And people do misunderstand, if there is, if there is no complaint, we have a wonderful culture. It is not. People are not educated, so they are accepting, but today or tomorrow they will raise their voice. So this is the advice I have for the employer. Please don't get fear of, don't go in the back about, don't think bad when you are educating, because you are empowering them, which is very important. And when we talk, if I have employees, those are the audience, so for them, I have a piece of advice that please don't sit silent. Raise your voice. It is your right to be safe at your workplaces. So it's not something your organization is doing additionally for you. It is something you deserve. So if somebody else is accepting, you should not accept. Others are okay with the behavior, doesn't mean you should also accept. इसके साथ नहीं हुआ तो मेरे साथ कैसे हो सकता है? No. If whenever you feel this is unacceptable, unwelcome, for me, raise your voice, raise the concern, and that should be the first step to avoid the sexual harassment. Be a responsible person for the workplace and be a support system for others. Sometimes it does happen, somebody is facing something, they get judgmental. अरे इसने ऐसा किया होगा, वो तो ऐसा है ही नहीं. Be a support system if you can. Otherwise, please don't be judgmental because you are demotivating someone else from raising the voice. And be respectful, be responsible, and be informed about this.
Great. So amazing to
That's
hear
all.
you. And is there any other piece of advice that you would like to give to top management, basically, so that they can, spread the word, create more visibility
Yeah.
into the system? I think that's also very important.
That's very, very important. So, as I said, my piece of advice to employer is always rather, thinking about it. अभी तो कोई case है नहीं, आएगा तब देखेंगे. Because whenever I go and consult to the clients about it, the first question comes is, what if after education we get more complaints? So please don't afraid of that. More complaints, first thing you should respect it that your employees are confident enough to bring it to your notice, because complaints are already existing but it is not coming to your notice. So first thing, don't afraid of educating your people, and please rather we think about the redressal, or we think okay jo compliance pe penalties hongi we will pay that. Rather going into that direction, think about the preventive steps we can have. And it is so simple to have, to being POSH compliant. You just have to have a very well drafted policy. You have to have a team of 5, 6 people, which is an IC. And you have to educate people. That's it. I mean, there is nothing big in that. So why are we afraid? Why are we not accepting it? I have even the client those who say we want to be 90% compliant, but we don't want to file the annual report. Otherwise, it would become a every year's compliance, mandate compliance for us. So please come out of that mindset, because undoubtedly this is going to represent you as a brand. This is going to showcase what culture you have in the organization, how valuable your resources are for you. I go for the orientation program at multiple institutes, so I really appreciate that this level nowadays, be it the graduation, be it the engineering, management student, or higher education institutes are trying to educate them on this, on this sensitive topic. So this is the preventive steps they are taking, and I think our management should also think about it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. And these are such insightful answers that you have just, given us all. And it seems
Thank
that definitely, as I was saying, we definitely are coming with another part of this session to discuss more interesting things with respect to POSH.
For sure.
Because the way you have explained, Anjali, I would say it's really meaningful and easy to follow. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
A huge virtual round of applause for you. I'm so glad that we could talk on this sensitive topic today.